Welcome back to Battalion Wars. Today I am going to continue on with the game for real and not joke around about missions being impossible to S-rank when they clearly are possible to S-rank, as is evident by the fact that I have S-ranks on every single level. Today we're doing the second bonus mission first. This is particularly notable because it's the only mission in either of the two Battalion Wars games to let you play as Exylvania outside of multiplayer, which is completely silly. And I have no idea why they would design it that way, but far be it from me to question it.
The enemy flees before our assembled might, but where will they go when they run out of land?
Retreat to Dusty Springs, comrades. This is one battle the Tundran territories cannot win. It's time to leave this doomed city, comrades. T-copters are waiting to evacuate you all.
Storm the city, Commander, and crush all who stand in your path. The enemy must not be permitted to escape.
That is not how you spell commander. Anyways, the objective of this level is to eliminate all 4 Tundran transport copters before the timer runs out. 10 minutes isn't very strict at all. You can have this mission done in a mere 4 minutes if you simply rush all 4 T-copters and not worry about anything else in the level. But of course we want an S rank, so we have to actually make the effort to destroy enemy units in order to increase our power ranking. We have 2 anti-air vehicles and 8 assault veterans. I'm sorry, miniguns, so this should not be a difficult task whatsoever. For the ground troops, we have 3 light tanks and 2 heavy tanks. Now, what's frustrating about this, however, is that as soon as you get close to a T-copter, or if a stray bullet decides to hit it, the T-copter will start to fly away, and if it escapes the level, if even one T-copter escapes the level, you are done. You lose. The mission is over. And, you know, that's a really frustrating condition to be playing under because, you know, you might be approaching it and stray too close and trigger the T-copter's flight response, or you might hit it with a stray bullet as you are approaching and firing at other units in the area. A T-copter triggering long before you want it to is a very bad thing, so you might as well take control of an anti-air vehicle and just start shooting at it long before you get close enough to trigger it by proximity, and, you know, just shoot it out of the sky before it does anything. That first T-copter isn't too bad because, you know, it's just sitting there right out in the open. And this second one, I'm going to take out these gunships first. This second one is particularly interesting because you can sit right next to this tree right here, aim at the T-copter, lock onto it, and just shoot it before it even knows what's going on. Although you'll probably want to take out the gunships before they notice you. The gunships in this level are pretty much like any other gunships that takes a little harassment before they'll actually notice you exist. I mean, that gunship could have destroyed my anti-air vehicle and significantly lowered my chances of clearing the level. Not that you need more than one anti-air vehicle. The third transport copter, however, is particularly annoying. It's sitting on top of that hill where the comm station was in the previous level. The thing is that if you slide up the slope on the side of the cliff there, you can actually stray into the T-copter's range by which it will start to fly away if you were to get too close to it. It's sort of a bubble, and if you break that bubble, it starts to fly away. This is not good. You'll also see that when I turn and go around the corner here, it'll start flying away as soon as I get close to it by the corner too. Of course, you can take out the gunships relatively safely, so long as they don't draw one of your missiles into the T-copter. Because then that would be bad. It would get hit and start flying away. Now, those 2 bridges that I just passed by are particularly annoying because since you have so many vehicles in this level, it's very possible for them to get stuck as they're trying to follow you or go to wherever you directed them to. Now, I just made a monkey out of that T-copter, but this next, this section here is actually pretty annoying because there's 4 light tanks positioned just so that they can surround you with their shots. Now, this is the kind of level design I actually want to see come out of this game more often. I mean, I'm taking them out with anti-air vehicles, and that's not good game design, because why would anti-air vehicles be good against ground units? But, you know, the fact that there are several tanks here positioned so that avoiding them would be difficult, even for a manual controlled unit, that's something that they should do more often, because you can pretty much wreck the difficulty by just controlling your strongest unit yourself. Well, maybe not in the later levels, but, you know, for these early ones. Fortunately, the bonus levels, they really up the ante on the difficulty, not usually in the best of ways. I mean, this is a frustrating level. Oh, and one of my light tanks just died because it was probably taking the other path around the hill to get to me, and there were more enemies there, so it probably just, you know... Bad AI pathfinding. They don't follow the path you take, they find your own path, their own path to get to you. This is not necessarily a bad thing, however. I just think it's a little silly. There are a couple of bazooka veterans coming up, but since they're all on their own, unlike the 4 light tanks we just passed, they're very easily taken out. Even with anti-air vehicles, although we are taking a lot of damage in the process. Now, the speed requirement for this level is also fairly lenient in addition to the timer there. I've finished the level with a clock at like 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 30 seconds, and still gotten 100% speed. So I guess you're guaranteed 100% speed no matter how long you actually take to finish the level. And if that's the case, then they should increase the general time limit, not that you're ever going to run that out either. And what was I talking about again? Oh yeah, T-copter number 2 is around here somewhere, but it's already been destroyed. T-copter number 4, however, is right over there, next to a couple of more light tanks. Now, I'm pretty sure if you shoot down the T-copter before it... Well, what I'm trying to say here is, it looked like some rifle guns were trying to get into the T-copter before it started to fly away. So I'm wondering if those don't spontaneously disappear if you destroy the copter before it starts flying. That's probably true. Well, probably not true. Anyways, we technically finished the level, but it's going to give us like 30 seconds or so of leeway to finish up any more units that we want to, which I very much like. It makes it easier to get those last few units in so you can flesh out your power ranking. And if you switch to unit while the level is technically ending, you can still control your unit for a little bit. It's a funny little glitch. And as you can see, we have an S rank. Technique probably could have been better if I hadn't lost that light tank somehow. But oh well. Next up is Gunships of the Desert, and as I have stated already, yes, you can get an S rank. Why you guys didn't realize this already is beyond me. Or maybe you did. It wasn't the best April Fool's joke. It was hardly even a joke at all, come to think of it. Oh well, moving on. Obviously, gunships are involved, as we've already seen. Let's just start the level cutscene already before I say something even more embarrassing.
Salutations, Commander. Your primary objective for this mission is to capture the enemy-held neurosite fields. First things first, aim to destroy the gun and their pilots while they are still grounded. This is your secondary objective. Then make your way across the river and join up with the Frontier Mechanized Division.
Did Virtual Dub drop frames or something? That's weird. Oh well. First up, we're going to take out all of the gunships. It's pretty easy to get all of them before the heavy tanks start rolling in. Not that heavy tanks matter, because you could just destroy them with your missile veterans if you're playing the level incorrectly like I was. But no, we're going to do it the right way, because I don't know, I want that S rank. I actually ran this level few times before deciding on a run that I liked, because, you know, I wanted to get 100% in all 3 scoring categories. Because I don't know why. I guess it looks cool if I have 100, 100, and 100. The heavy recon doesn't really serve much purpose other than to make this jump over the bridge interesting. Kuju really likes their recon jump over broken bridges. Or something like that. Where even is the recon?
Under your direct command.
Is it over there?
No grandstanding, boys. There's enough of the enemy to go around.
No grandstanding. Anyways, I already approached the bridge, so Colonel Austin isn't going to tell me to put the pedal to the metal like he should. Your other units just have to swim. I have to wonder what might happen if you try swimming and then what the recon winds up doing. The AI-controlled recon, rather. That was a very nice spin there, though. The recon still never disappoints. Unfortunately, it's no longer relevant because we have a gunship. Our very own gunship. And if you guys were excited to see me finally getting a gunship, or if you were excited to get your own gunship, rather, the gunship is unfortunately very much irrelevant in this level as well. I mean, you know, it's a very good unit, and, you know, it's really fun to finally be able to destroy enemies with your gunship after having been annoyed by gunships yourself so often. I mean, it does a number on heavy tanks, of all things, from the air no less. Although you should probably make an effort to actually dodge tank shots because they can still hit you. You'll have to fly low over the jerry cans in order to pick them up, though. This is probably common sense, but if you crash into any of the level objects with an air unit, then it'll get destroyed. Like, instantly. And if we look to our left, we can see the T-copter that just dropped the infantry being shot down by a couple of anti-air vehicles. Very nice detail and a very nice warning that there are anti-air vehicles up ahead. If you're being shot by an anti-air missile, then you can fly low. That'll almost always disengage its lock on you, but it's not guaranteed. So, an annoying gimmick that occurs over most of Battalion Wars 2 is destroying anti-air units so that your air units can reinforce your position. I'm not a fan of this level design idea because, you know, why don't you just give us the air units and then challenge us to use them while not getting shot down? Why withhold them until you've destroyed anti-air units and thus eliminated the challenge already? We'll see most of that, though. I'm complaining about a thing in Battalion Wars 2. As for Battalion Wars 1, well, you know, why would you even take the gunship in here? Because there's tons of anti-air vehicles, and you have 3 heavy tanks, which serve the same purpose as the gunship, the only difference being that it can't fly. Kuju, what are you thinking? I mean, the heavy tank not being able to fly isn't really a problem here. It's a desert stage. There's no water. Aside from that one river that we just went over a bridge. Why don't you challenge us to finish this level with no ground vehicles? I mean... oh, then people would just use their missile vets. Of course! So there are 3 capture points that you need to capture. But, one of the better design decisions for this level was that you only have 10 infantry in total. That's 5 missile veterans that you start with, 3 rifle grunts, and 2 assault vets. So whatever you do, make sure you protect them because, you know, no infantry means you can't take any of the 3 capture points. Why are there 3? Why, there needed to be 3 in order to cause reinforcements to appear after 1 or 2 of them were taken, even though you could just order 3 different groups of infantry to take all 3 capture points at once and thus render the reinforcements null and void. Because when you finish capturing them, the level is instantly over, no matter how many other units are actually there. You could be down to your last rifle grunt and it wouldn't matter. Speaking of reinforcements, they mostly consist of units that were actually already spawned in the level. They just actively start attacking you as soon as one of the capture points are taken. Coincidentally, those same reinforcements would have attempted to stop you from entering the fuel refinery. Fuel refinery. I'm thinking of a different level. They would have stopped you from entering this level had you tried to take the missile veterans in here from the very beginning, which obviously I did. Well, I suppose it's worth noting... Gosh. I keep complaining about the levels in this game, even though it's still a fun game to play. I mean, like, if I'm gonna make the game out to be bad, then I might as well be playing... I don't know... something that's actually bad. Are those missile vets actually trying to take down the tank on their own? Well, it looks like they were doing a good job, too. Gotta love the AI. It has its moments.
Incompetent fools! How dare you let those inferior specimens get the better of you!
Good job, Commander. By capturing and holding this base, we have cut one of the enemy's primary lines of supply.
You know, I'm beginning to suspect that multiplayer should be the focus of Battalion Wars 3 if it ever comes to... Oh my goodness, I missed it by 1%. Wow. Still an S rank, but wow.